welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking all about the Makeup Geek rebrand. I'm going to be doing some swatches. I'm going to do an eye look using just items from this palette, and I'll do a wear test along with that, and then I will give you my detailed thoughts and kind of a review. So way back when I was first getting into makeup, Makeup Geek was kind of some of the first eyeshadows that I purchased. So this was really exciting to see them rebranding and see what they've done. So I placed an order on their website for a custom palette of 9 pans, and that comes with this palette right here, which has a mirror and it's just empty, and then the 9 eyeshadows that came with are just packaged individually like so. So here is what the 9-pan palette looks when it's all been put together. I usually go for very colorful eyeshadows, but I don't have a lot of neutrals in my collection, and I wanted to get some more cool tone neutrals, so I got a row of those as well. So here we have Beach Please, Latte As Usual, Espresso Yourself, Bedrock, Tuscan Sun, Cupcake, Daydreamer, In the Spotlight, and Mystical. This last column is all foils, and these 2 columns are all mattes. The palette and all of the shadows came out to about $42. That's with 6 mattes and then 3 of their foils. Mattes usually are about $5.50, and their foils and their power pigments are usually about $8. I wanted to try out their power pigment formula, but at the time when I was purchasing it, I don't know if this is still the case right now, they had some sort of issue with adding power pigments to the custom palette, so you could add them. They were an option under the custom palettes, but then you didn't get the palette discount. You were paying full price for all the shadows and the palette. So I don't know if they have since fixed that, or if you're not allowed to have power pigments in the custom palette and get the discount. I don't know. But this is what we're going to be working with today. I placed my order on January 24th, and it shipped out just on February 1st. Makeup Geek said there's going to be a delay, about 3 to 7 days, just because they had so many orders coming in, so that was to be expected. It makes sense with the rebrand and everything. For the swatches, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a primer all over my lid. I'm going to be using the Photo Focus primer from Wet n Wild, which is the eyeshadow primer I always use. For the foils, I'm going to be packing them in with a stiff brush, something like this. It's got shadow on it, ignore that. And for the mattes, I'm going to be blending them out around the crease and the transition area with a nice fluffy brush like this. And then I will also be packing them onto the lid with a brush like this. So you can see both how they kind of, because that's usually how I apply mattes, is with the fluff brush around here. So you can see how it applies if you're blending it out, and then also how it applies if you're packing it in, like into the outer V or whatever, or maybe on your lid. Maybe some people wear mattes on their lid too. Totally cool. In between shadows, I'm just going to be swiping the brush dryly onto a dry microfiber towel, just to get rid of the excess eyeshadow that's on there. And then I'll be washing my eye with micellar water, drying it off, and then reapplying the primer. Alright, so let's get started.
Every day I'm looking for a way to return to the time when everything was easy to learn. Don't know when it started to get so serious, building up an illusion of a world full of trust, moving on when everything's gone. It's hard to be strong. Confusion in my mind, no way to turn back time. My soul in need of remedy, don't even know the enemy. When I feel out of touch, can't seem to get enough. Hiding away from everyone, I don't know where I'm coming from. You don't forget your first love. We were young and wild, we were up all night. You don't forget that summer sun 2009. We were feeling high, and I got drunk for the first time. I thought I was cool. I thought I looked smooth in your eyes and tried to make up
It is a new day, so today we're going to be doing a look using some of the new Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and then I'm going to wear it throughout the day, and I will check back in about 8 hours to let you guys see kind of how it is worn and how it has held up throughout the day. So I've already done the look on this eye, and today we're doing just kind of a neutral look using some of the neutral shadows I got. We're going to be using Bedrock kind of as a transition shade. I'm going to put Latte As Usual in the crease, and then I'm going to finish with Daydreamer all over the lid. So we're going to start by applying some primer all over the lid. I use this one by Wet n Wild, and that's just going to help create a stronger base for the eyeshadows to bind to. So now we are going to go in with this color here. It's Bedrock. It is like a cool gray. I don't know if you guys can see well. And I'm just using it on this nice fluffy brush here. And we're going to be putting that all over the transition area kind of the brow bone. Ooh, that goes in darker than I remember. Alright, just blending that in. It does look a little patchy right now, but I think the word they use is these shadows are buildable. But I'm sure once we finish all the blending, it will look fine. So I'm actually going to go in with a bigger, fluffier brush to just kind of try and blend that out. So we're going with this one here, just that angled, fluffier brush. It doesn't have any eyeshadow on it, to just kind of blend a little bit more. Okay, that's probably good. So now we're going to go in with Latte As Usual. I love that name. We're going to be using, that is this one here, and it's more brown compared to the other one. The other one was a little more gray, but it's still very cool toned. So I'm using this brush, which is less fluffy, and it's more flat than the other one, less round. And I think that works really well for just putting things into the crease. So we're just going to put that here, and we're going to blend that into the other color, and then we're also going to put it a bit into this outer V as well, to create some dimension there. I really like how this one goes on a lot better compared to the other one. I think it happens a lot with lighter colors where they have to put in white or things to make it lighter. It ends up being a little patchy, and I think that's kind of what happened with Bedrock there. But Latte As Usual, I think, has more consistent color and blends on better. That also might be because I'm applying it over the other eyeshadow, so it's not going straight onto the primer as a base. And I do that sometimes. I will set my eye after I use the primer. Alright, so we're just going to blend that into the other shade here. And then I'm going to pack it on just a little more into right where that crease is. And then also the outer V. We're going to do Daydreamer, which is this nice purple right here. I'm going to pack it on with this. It's a very stiff, thick brush here. And we're going to put that all over the lid. And it's a very pretty, kind of like white silvery shade with kind of purple undertones. It looks absolutely lovely. I really like this color. It does take a bit to build up the color, but I think it blends really well into the other colors for kind of a nice transition there. And I am using a dry brush for this. Sometimes if I want to get more power out of a formula, I will use my finger or a wet brush. So now we are going to highlight my brow bone and then my inner corner. So we're going to use this highlighter for that. It's by Luna, and it's called in the color Calypso. It's just really pretty. It's when I'm doing cool tone looks, this is the highlighter I like to use, and I'm going to be using this angled brush to apply it, and that's going to also help blend out that corner there that I felt was a little dark. Just a really pretty color. And then I'm going to take some on this corner here, and I'm going to apply it to the inner corner of my eye just to help that stand out a little bit more. Now we are going to line my eye. For this I'm using a felt tip liner. It is the from Maybelline. It's a liquid eyeliner in black. And so we're just going to tight line the lid here, and then I will start drawing on the wing. I like to use the CoverGirl Clump Crusher mascara. It's just a good drugstore classic, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that is the look. I will check back later in about 8 hours just to show you how this all has held up throughout the day. Hi everyone! It's been about 10 hours since I first applied this makeup, so I just wanted to do an end of the day check-in and let you know kind of how it wore on me. Overall, I think it did a good job of staying put and not fading too much, and you can, here I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can kind of see. That's kind of what it looks like at the end of the day. I think the color that probably faded the most is the Daydreamer. Here it doesn't look quite as vibrant as when I first applied it, but it's not bad. And then you can kind of see the outer corner here, especially the liner, but that's not Makeup Geek, that's just something else. Just because my eye was watering a bit, has kind of worn down a little. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I think they stayed on well. The main complaints I had were when I was applying Bedrock, which is this outer crease area. It was just a little patchy and a little bit hard to blend. If you guys are used to the old Makeup Geek formulas, they are less dry, so there's less fallout, but they are a little, for the lighter colors, I think patchier. And then my other issue was with Daydreamer. It doesn't apply as vibrantly as it swatches. So like, for example, if you take Daydreamer here and I got a brush and I just go in and then I swatch on the back of my hand, it's very light, as opposed to if I take my finger and I go in and then I swatch on the back of my hand, it looks very vibrant. So I would just recommend with this, and probably the other foils too, is to apply them with either your finger or a wet brush to really get that opacity that you're looking for. Otherwise it just takes a long time to build up and it doesn't give you quite the color payoff that you might be hoping for. Hello and welcome back. It's a new day, so today we're going to be doing an eye look using some of the more colorful colors that I picked up from Makeup Geek. Alright, here's the palette. So last time we did kind of a neutral look using these three and Daydreamer. Today I'm going to use these four here to make kind of a more colorful red, pinky look. So to start off, we're going to use a primer. I use my Wet n Wild primer. We're going to get started with Cupcake, which is this light bottom pink here, just kind of up into the brow bone and a little bit into the crease there. And we're just going to apply that with a very light hand. I will note that this is different than their old Cupcake. It's not as pink, it's a little more, I don't know, peachy, almost got kind of a, I don't know, like an orangey brown, kind of a brownish look to it. Now that we've got that applied, I'm going to dip into the shade Tuscan Sun, which is this darker pink right here. Really pretty. I really like the color. And we're going to put it more into the crease and then also kind of blend it into that previous color as well. I'm going to use this big fluffy brush again and just kind of blend those two together a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to start on the lid. I think I'm going to take Mystic, which is darker, and kind of put it on the kind of the center and then the outer part of the lid. And then on the inner lid, I'm going to take, this is In the Spotlight, which is like a lighter orange, and I'm going to kind of use that as an inner corner highlight almost. And start applying that. This color is really pretty. It's like a very rich, kind of plum purpley red. I really like it. Alright, now I'm going to take this tiny brush here and I'm going to pick up some of the In the Spotlight, which is this nice light orange metallic-y color here, and I'm going to put it on the inner corner and a little bit onto the lid as well. And I think I'm actually going to take this as well and then use it very lightly, and then probably blend it out with my finger a little as a brow bone highlight, just because it is very light. Okay, excellent. Now I'm just going to do my base before I do the bottom part of the eye here. I think I'm going to do just In the Spotlight all over the bottom part here. I'm just going to put that on the lower line. This is it, the final look. I'll be checking back in about 8 hours or so to show you guys how the eyeshadow has worn on my face, and then I will give you my final thoughts on the new Makeup Geek rebrand. So I will see you all in 8 hours. Hello and welcome back. It's been about 9 hours since the initial eyeshadow application, so I just wanted to check in and show you kind of how it's worn. So we're going to try to zoom in a little here. So overall, I think it worked pretty well. There was some settling kind of into the crease with Mystic, and it did fade a little bit, but no more than you'd expect a normal eyeshadow to. So my overall thoughts on the Makeup Geek Rebrand eyeshadows are they are different than the original ones, and I can show you. So I can show you. I have Cupcake was one that I got a couple years ago, and then I also got it in the rebrand, and it's not the same. So this is my original Cupcake. It is well loved. So if I do a quick swatch of that on my hand, my finger, this is bare hand, no primer on it or anything. That's how the old Cupcake looks. And now if I do a comparison with the new Cupcake, I'll use a different finger for that. And then I'll put that below that one. You can kind of see it's not quite the same color. Well, that shows up well. So the initial Cupcake is a lot more pink, and the new Cupcake is almost more of an orangey brownish. I don't know how, that's the only eyeshadow I got that was a duplicate of one that I had previously, so I'm not sure how the other eyeshadows stack up, but just know if you are ordering an old eyeshadow that you really liked, it may end up being a different color. I think the formula is also a little different. It's less dry. Well, there's less fallout, I feel, than there was with the old Makeup Geek, but I don't think it blends out as well. The foileds, so those would be these three here, especially Daydreamer, swatches a lot better than it shows up with a brush. So definitely with the foileds, I would recommend using either a wet brush or your finger to apply them to get the full effect. Otherwise they look kind of weak. I would compare them, I think it's very similar to both the foileds and the mattes are very similar to a lot of ABH Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows that I have. I felt like it performed very similarly. So that is my final thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!